Alright, let's start the show.
Beyond the stars lie a web of pearls, each gemstone a miniature world unto itself. Upon these worlds interconnected our stories are told, and the fate of creation hangs in the balance. Welcome to the Titan's Gift.
Yeah, this is us, guys. Oh, they are so handsome.
Oh, I love your hat!
And Marty.
Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the Titan's Gift Campaign, Episode 8. I'm your DM and host Marty, joined by Levi, Luke, Neil, and Matt. How is everyone doing this?
Howdy.
Fine November Eve.
Hey, yep.
I'm going to say it once, happy midterm election evening. However, this channel is not a political channel, so let's not talk about that.
Go vote.
We're here to escape into fantasy realms and not deal with the real one.
That out of the way, how was everyone's day and how was everyone's week? Since last week we saw you. We'll go around the table here. Levi, any shout-outs, anything important that we need to know?
I'm burping. I'd like to shout out JWoww Titty Bang.
Yeah, Jay Wow.
I have this sweet ass handlebar mustache now. I'm trying to connect the bottom to
Sorry,
the
I don't
top.
have my glasses on. So.
It's 3 days old. Give me some time.
You got the handlebars, but yeah.
I like how you're saying this in the slightly country twang.
Fuck yeah. Bet your sweet ass.
Falcon A.
But yeah, that's all I got going on.
Cool. Matt, what's going on?
Not too much. We had to do Halloween. We had some pumpkins out on the front porch. It was real nice.
Cool.
Not too many kids came by, but
Did you carve them?
the kids are the pumpkins.
Hey, yo.
This little that.
I take the fifth.
And I forgot what I was gonna ask. Oh, did you dress up?
Yes?
Did you dress up the cats?
No.
Are you a cat dresser up?
No, I am not.
All right. They're also kind of young, so they might have just torn everything off of themselves and tried to put something.
Yeah.
You gotta start them, young.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we got a little Velcro harness that we can kind of put on one of the guys that likes to go outside, and it's very hard for him to back out of it. But, so that's the trade, right? You get to go outside, but you got to wear the harness.
Luke, you've got every week for some reason you have a costume because you think it's LARP, but it is not LARP.
It's not?
Is this your costume this week? Tell us about your costume.
I ran out of costumes. This is just a hat.
What do you mean?
A guy named Luke.
I'm a sportsing fan this week. I like
Sports?
ball sports. So
Okay.
let your mind go wherever it wants with that one, I think. Yeah, that's about it. Just drinking my tea, just hanging out, ready to do some
But you are a Cleveland Indians fan.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
a Cleveland Indians fan, and it was almost a fun season up until the end there, and then it got real sad.
Got it. Were you cheering for the Dodgers or Boston in the finals?
I wasn't cheering for anyone. I was actively cheering against Boston, though. As a fan of any team other than Boston, it's sort of a rule of thumb
I
that
thought the
you root
only
against them.
people who liked Boston were people who live in Boston.
Yes,
Okay.
I root against Boston.
You know what? For the sports teams? Yeah, I don't like the sports teams. I like Boston, the city, quite a lot. That's a pretty cool city. But yeah, no one likes the Patriots.
Neil, who is in a different home, how is the commute? What's going on?
Hey man, nothing major going on. In the unlikely event that the England rugby number 10 Owen Farrell watches this, that was a yellow card, man.
He's tuning in this week, I think.
All right, over.
Yeah, no news on this side, Mac. No news on this side. Everything's good. Looking forward to the game tonight.
Okay, so why don't we do a recap of what happened last game? Last game was called
Jerks Emeritus.
Yeah!
The party returns to their homes in the slough, only to find Gaedran in the middle of ransacking the professor's apartment. Pharisee entertains the party at her tiny apartment. Zephyros speaks with his master about the key of infinite doors and about his inheritance. Zephyros and the professor make a pact to share spells. The party visits the Pearl in search of a mercenary for hire who convinces them to give their tribe a name. In search for Gaedran, the party travels to the remote noble manor of Villa Malavella. While scouting ahead, Luudo meets
the master carver, Bark Wilder.
And Bark Wilder, I think, stepped into his little cave right underneath the bridge
that leads up to the manor, while the party was remaining sort of behind by about 100 feet. Luudo had gone and scouted the idyllic
stone bridge that crosses a small brook, and found Bark Wilder,
a strange-looking gnome that seemed to have a wonderful garden full of very realistically carved people, including an Inquisitor of Fame. Picture like a knightly Inquisitor.
Right.
A deer on the opposite bank drinking from the water, a baby deer. There was a urchin, like the perfect rendition of a child urchin.
Oh, right.
That looked like he was sort of like peeking around a corner. And there were a few other like little woodland animals and that sort of thing. Bark Wilder invited you into his domain for tea, and his voice changed into a very deep baritone. And Luudo, you've got shivers that you now know that you're in deep trouble.
There is no light under in the home under the bridge, and I'm going to. So that's Luudo under the bridge, and he's sort of off to the side here to the right, looking into the hovel or like a dugout underneath the bridge along the bank. And there's Bark Wilder, who just stepped back into the darkness. This is the door that is open, and you can't see Bark Wilder. You just see a slight shadow. And as we started initiative, Bark had already turned into, instead of a small creature, he was this size. It appears that there is the slight shadow of a large creature inside the hovel, or inside the dugout. It actually has a nice wooden carved door.
Beautiful door. I talked a lot about it.
Woo! We got some action.
Who is it?
Anonymous, thanks for the follow.
And thanks for all your
Thanks for all your good deeds on the internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
We also drove that candle making insane last game. That happened as well.
I'm very sorry that super important people can't pronounce your nickname.
Anonymous?
Anonymous.
Okay, we're not getting political, sorry.
Anonymous
on Canada? Is that a moose dig?
Is it a moose joke?
Anonymous anemone.
An enemy?
I'm sure there's a bunch of complicated A names. Anyways, all right. So we were going to roll initiative. Basically, there is a brook behind you that is eating up a little bit of the sound. Plus, you're underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
You had raised your voice like. What was the last thing you said? Do you remember?
I guess I'm gonna enter this dark hole under this bridge.
Okay, so you're yelling. The party is a significant distance away. Assorted Berries, how's it going?
Woo! A seagull character.
How's it going, Assorted? Yeah, let's roll initiative, and then we can introduce the characters and who is playing what. Right now, the party is chasing down a vile rogue by the name of Gaedran Lamb. Gaedran preys upon the poor people of the great city of Grand Station. He captures children and forces them to be pickpockets and thieves for him. However, in recent times, the party has discovered is that the children that he had in his pack of urchins have started to disappear, and Gaedran has begun to grow in dark and powerful ways, despite the fact that he is a very aged rogue. The party is basically victims of Gaedran Lamb. Levi is playing Luudo, who is a halfling rogue. Luudo used to be one of Gaedran's lambs, as he calls his urchins. He has.
What was that thing?
That is a cheer. Thanks for the one.
Thanks for cheering.
Take this bit. Take it.
I'll take the whole
Yes,
bit.
sir.
Just take it and go.
Luudo made his escape and became a miner. However, in the Ether Pearls or the Great Wheel, which is sort of the dimension that they're in, it's sort of going through a recession. It is called the what did it call it? The Great Stagnation. And jobs are hard to come by. The poor are getting poorer, and the rich are getting richer. Luudo is a victim again of Gaedran Lamb, as some of his prized items were stolen while they were taking a ether train ride back to Grand Station. So that's Luudo, and he's being lured into a hovel underneath a bridge where he met this master carver, suspiciously really good carver.
Except that weapon's not so good.
Yeah, exactly. At some things. And we'll describe more of the situation they're in as we roll initiative. So the other characters that we are playing, so that's Luudo. The other players, Luke is playing. Oops. Because I'm dragging things into my desktop. Luke is playing the Professor. The Professor is a 60-something-year-old man who has spent his life trying to uncover the dark and esoteric things.
Belongs in a museum.
He has spent his entire family fortune, as well as relationships, pursuing these things, and he too has been a victim of the thievery at the hands of the vile Gaedran Lamb. And when they tried to go and kill Gaedran Lamb a couple of episodes ago, and he made his escape, he apparently knew who the professor was, and quickly turned around and robbed the professor's apartment. So you've been robbed twice now by Gaedran.
He peed on my rug, dude.
And then he peed on your rug and left you a vile message saying, let's make a deal, and stole your desk and a bunch of other things.
Peed on
So the professor has teamed up with Zephyros, who is Neil's character. Zephyros is a Fant, which is a fantasy anthropomorphic elephant man. They are a rarer race. This particular Fant is not a commune or communal living Fant. He is a tusker, which means he's removed part of one of his tusks to show to others of his race and to others around him that he is a big deal. He is an invoker and also the strongest character in the party. So he's kind of a solid center to the party's adventuring. So that is played by Neil, and then we've got Pharisee, who is a character that is played by Matt. Pharisee is a fae. She is a fae orphan who's just trying to make her way in the world. She came across Gaedran Lamb when she rescued her familiar from Gaedran, who was capturing fairies and drying them out and selling them as spell components. Pixel is this tiny mote, several inches tall, being of light, also a fairy that is her conduit to her witchly patron. So Pharisee is kind of whimsical and a little bit dark. I think kind of is the dichotomy there of Pharisee that I've seen so far.
Hell of a flautist, though.
And a bit of a bard as well. They've got two mercenaries, and then a third being also traveling with them. Manny is a half-giant who was raised by halflings, and he fights with a oversized halfling sling staff, and is kind of the warrior of the party. The party decided, because there are a bunch of wizards and squishies, that they wanted even more mercenaries, so they hired a, basically they're calling it the murder bug. This is Texirac Gagat, who is a 4-armed Thrycreen that they have just recently hired, and they're not too sure how good he's going to be, but he is very odd.
I think we have an idea.
And then the big elephant man is carrying the Mocronom Gobbler, which is a mixture between a bag of holding and a mimic. And Mocronom's pretty fun. So, yeah, he's being carried right now. So, the situation right now is that Luudo has gone ahead to scout in the distance. You can see the Malavella. You can see the somewhat, you think, quasi-abandoned Malavella estate. However, one of the chimneys, there is a plume of smoke coming out of the top of. It's in the distance. In the foreground, however, there is an idyllic stone bridge that travels over a small brook. There are a lot of copses of small growth trees, however, clustered around the bridge, almost like it was, and the embankment are some larger trees, and those are the dots that I've drawn on the bridge itself. Luudo disappeared over kind of along the embankment and underneath the bridge. And at this point, I need perception checks from the group that is standing there waiting for Luudo to come back from his scouting to see if they hear him yelling. Now, normally in combat and yelling is DC 0, but then there's distance and the fact that there's stuff in the way. So I'm going to say it's DC 4 plus distance. It looks like a DC 17 perception check to hear Luudo yelling, and perceive the meaning of the yelling.
What? Someone hear something? Just barely, yes.
Okay, Pharisee, you heard what he said, and you also caught that there was a bit of panic in his voice.
I got a 23.
You heard it as well.
You're an elephant, so your ears are mighty.
Ludo's going into some lair under the bridge, and he's being loud. We should get over there. That can't be good.
Okay. At this point in time, initiative is now going to call because Bark wants to do something bad to Luudo.
Oh, good.
I mean, invite him in for tea. Like, there's nothing wrong here. Don't worry about it.
Wow. I'm continuing my staggeringly horrible roll spell.
Get him out of the way now, man.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Okay. Gaedran isn't here. The Mocronom Gobbler is just going to go if it needs to. It's just happy riding along. Bark Wilder, however.
Come on, Bark Wilder, roll bad.
His initiative's +6. And he rolls a 3.
Did you roll worse than me? Except with his +6, he's going to be ahead of me.
Manny, you want to give me a d20 roll?
He is 15.
And then we're also missing Texirac Gagat. However, he doesn't seem to be, he doesn't seem to realize that Luudo's calls, he doesn't pick up on the subtleties of Luudo's calls, so.
He's a murder bug.
He's just going in the room. What is the big deal here?
Right. Alright. Pace values. And then I'm going to get Luke to roll Texirac Gagat's rolls. So give me a d20. Texirac goes at +6 on initiative. What did Manny roll?
15. Come on, murder bug.
What are you doing rolling a 3?
3? Okay. Luudo, what did you roll?
20.
20?
First in the second round.
Alright, so let me order initiative. And I will paste it just in the chat, just because.
Just for kicks.
Just for kicks. Luudo, you're the first to react. What are you doing, bud? So you're yelling. You're kind of standing outside the door, so I'm just going to move you over. And you yelled your thing, and you can hear Bark Wilder going, "Come on now. Don't be rude. Come and have some tea."
I'm going to retreat, but So this is representing the under.
Yep, the under the bridge. So if you move,
hug the wall.
Run off to the side.
Yeah. So this is actually the embankment. So if you
Right.
go back to where the bridge is, I can draw the door underneath the bridge if you want. It's right there. So you're under the bridge right now. Yeah, you said you singing.
Under the bridge?
And then I'm gonna draw my. I just have my short. Yeah, I'm gonna draw my short sword.
You're being rude. Come in here.
And he's not gonna say a word because he is trying to sneak.
Sort of berries. I have no idea what's going on, but I loved it. Didn't I just explain? There is a lot of context that maybe is there. So Luudo is coming out from underneath the bridge, and you've drawn your sword.
Short sword. Yep.
Okay. Your short sword or your crappy katana?
Oh yeah, I got that last game. Yes, my crappy katana.
Okay.
With its crappily crapness.
Okay, so the beat up old katana that you picked out, you have drawn it, and the tall people, Zephyros, you can actually see Luudo. Like you see the top of Ludo's helmet, and he's taken out his sword. Pharisee, you heard what Luudo was doing, so you get to act.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Okay, I guess this is a surprise round, so this is standard or move, right? Because some of you weren't able to hear.
Yeah,
So yeah, you're able to move and
myself.
draw your
Right.
sword. Okay.
I know what's going on.
Mage armor on yourself. Professor, you didn't get this DC 17 perception?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a yes or no?
No, I didn't.
Manny also didn't hear what was going on. Bark. Bark is going to finish growing large. And it's kind of coming out of the door.
Oh.
I guess, yeah, there's a large claw kind of coming around the corner, and his hand is many times larger than it was a few moments before. You hear the scrape of something metallic off of stone. Like he might have a really heavy weapon in his hands. Tex Sirac Gat did not hear or didn't really understand. Zephyros, you heard. You get to standard or a move action as you see Luudo drawing a blade.
Since Luudo is drawing the blade, I am going to do a move action. I can do 30, right?
Yep.
I'm going to move closer to him.
Okay, the elephant man trundles down the road a little bit, and everyone's now looking. Those that did not hear realize that something bad is going on. Okay, Makronam Gobbler's not doing anything. Makronam Gobbler is just along for the ride, both literally and figuratively. Luudo, you were the first to go in a true round, so you get your full round of actions.
Full round of actions, huh? How close?
He hasn't come out yet.
Right. Is there a lot of large rocks and such about in this bank?
The embankment is a bit earthy. There are some rocks. Some really good things to hide behind would be the trees, the large trees.
Okay.
You could probably go along the embankment, maybe about 15 feet, and take a hide.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Yeah, there's an overhang with like clumps of grasses that overhang the embankment, so you can go and
such.
try to hide underneath the embankments.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Give me a stealth check.
20 plus. I just got an increase in that. It is 15, like I thought.
This fight brought to you by Pepsi Max.
24.
Because I'm drinking it. All right, 24 stealth. Put that on your token.
Yes.
And then we're going to go to Pharisee. Pharisee has cast a spell and thinks that something's up.
Yeah, Pharisee is just gonna move.
Okay, is she flying?
Yeah, she's gonna.
Okay, Pharisee unfurls her strange gossamer wing. What do your wings look like?
They're sort of like branches.
Okay.
With a leafy sort of
Like where feathers would
weapon.
be the, okay.
Yeah, kind of a leafy.
Strange wings. She's not a very agile flyer, so she flies in a straight line and kind of
Lands along the road or is skipping along the road while beating her wings.
the tiny pixel is able to keep up.
Yep.
Okay.
So she's buzzing along, making a sound, making a worried sound because you don't know what danger you're about to get into. Professor.
Oh, Pharisee, where are you going?
All of a sudden they started casting spells and moving forward. You still don't know what's going on.
I'll just double move and fall Pharisee.
Okay. The professor is hiking up his pants a little bit.
Running down the road.
Manny also is now concerned. Manny is
Luudo's buddy.
he didn't like the fact that Luudo went off sneaking. He is going to draw his he's probably
Walking with his big ass staff.
so he gets it ready for combat. He will enter a stance. I think he needs to enter a stance in order to get some of his bonuses. So he does that as a swift action, and now it's Bark Wilder's turn.
Well,
Bark Wilder pushes his way out the door, even though turning big wasn't good for his movement. Oh my goodness, he's grown much larger, much stronger as he kind of scrapes his way out of the doorway, underneath the bridge, hunching over slightly. He is massive, ogre-sized as he comes out. He is dragging behind him a very large spiked and flanged mace. You believe it's called a Morning Star. There is a reddish glow along the edges of the spikes of the Morning Star.
Oh, good. That's always good.
The Morning Star is also caked in the ball portion of it is also caked in a lot of dried blood that seems to have run down the the shaft of the Morning Star. He's dragging it behind him with one hand, and he's looking around the embankment. He seems annoyed and just sort of pushes over the statue of the Inquisitor that seemed to be in the way, and it just sort of unceremoniously falls into the embankment. Along its feet, you didn't get a really close look at its feet though. It's almost like the statue would have been a really poor job at. There's a board that the statue was on,
Right.
and there was like a shitty job of trying to put nails into the board. Like he had to tip the statue upside down and then decided to put nails on it. And you can see like this cluster of nails near the feet of each of the of that part of the statue. Bark is going to get a perception check as he's going to try to look for you. So he moved out.
Praise the love of God.
And his perception's +8.
Oh.
26.
What was your sneak?
24.
Distance?
Distance
Oh, thank God.
is 26.
He's got it.
He's. Where are you, impolite little Yondon? Oh, there you are. And he'll continue his movement. So that was 20 feet of movement. And then he's going to move his other 20 feet right up to you, kind of sloshing into the brook a little bit. Where do you think you are going? Okay, this ogre-sized, you don't know what it is. It's got a big frock of hair. It looks like some sort of mixture between a gnome and a troll has kind of wandered out from underneath the bridge, and you can tell that it's looking down at something and raising a big weapon towards Luudo. He had to double move to get out there,
Right.
so he doesn't get to attack. However, he's threatening you. Texarac Gat.
Quickly, Mr. Gaget! Protect the tribe!
With his 4 arms, draws his 2 double-bladed swords and then begins to spring forward. How fast is Texarac? It scampers at 40, so it's going to move a double move of 80 total, or if you could draw a straight line, it will just run.
Ooh, can we draw a straight line? He'd have to cut through a little brush.
You can probably run to here.
Yeah, it looks like a
Okay.
pretty clean shot.
He springs over a small log and a rock along the side of the road. This thing can jump.
I love this thing.
Just to give you an idea, its plus to jump is 35. Whereas a normal
Plus what?
35.
That's pretty impressive.
So it long jumps, and I believe it's 48 feet, or does that halved? I'll have to look up later what it was, but he got a 48 on his jump. It kind of leaped forward, and that was part of its movement, and then it landed and kept on scrambling and moving.
Nice.
All right, so that was Tex Sirac trying to come in. Zephyros, you're next.
Zephyros is going to do a single move to below the professor, and then he's going to just look up and squint his eyes just a little as he looks at Bark Wilder, lift his hand and say, "Flaming sphere."
Okay, what is the range of Flaming Sphere?
100 feet plus 10 per level.
Surprisingly long.
So I'm pretty good because at the moment I'm 90 feet away.
I feel like this tree-themed guy isn't a big fan of fire.
All right, let me find a token for your Flaming Sphere.
Mystic Sphere!
There's your fiery ball of fire.
Okay, so our fantastic little... Oh, where is it? I don't see it. Oh, I got it. Yeah. Yeah, you can just drag it and put it on top of...
Okay, whoops, let go. Alright, so the Flaming Sphere, yeah, he's 85 feet away plus probably 5 feet down for the embankment, so you can just drop it right in a square if you wanted.
I'm just going to drop it right in his square, and he has to make a reflex save.
Okay. The DC of the reflex save is?
My spell DC is 15 plus spell level, plus 2 for evocation. So this is a second level spell, so that's 17, 18, 19.
He rolled a 15, so you caught him off guard, and this sphere of fire rolls into his knee. He howls into the grayness of the day in pain and do damage. Go ahead.
And he does 3d6 of damage.
Plus 1 for...
Bartong's not.
Oh, that's right.
But
That's right.
it is
Evoker.
evocation.
Is it plus your level, or is it plus the level of the spell? I forget.
I'm trying to see. I think it is plus my level. Where do I see that? That's on my character sheet somewhere. Plus half your wizard level.
Okay, so plus 1. So 8 damage because you're an evoker. All right, Bark. This horrible creature howls in pain. There's blackish smoke coming off of his leg, and his skin is starting to bubble. This look of rage crosses his face. It looks like he's going to take it out on Luudo, though. Luudo, you get to go before he does.
I do?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Oh, thank God.
Do something that doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
Do that.
How tall is this embankment? Am I gonna have to acrobatics over that?
You would have to make an acrobatics check to get up it. If you climbed, you would go flat-footed, which
Right.
might be bad.
I am definitely going to.
It's about 5 feet up.
I'm 3 feet tall.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do a DC 20 acrobatics check to simply jump up.
DC 20. Okay.
You're trying to do a 5-foot vertical.
Right. My back's
jump.
against it.
And you're
And you're not running.
4.5 feet tall.
Yeah. You could also combine that jump with an acrobatics check to try to tumble out of his reach without taking an AOO.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Not getting that AOO.
Okay, are you jumping up? But you could also tumble away from him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'll
just tumble away
from at this point.
Okay.
Seems as though it'd be smart to come right.
Yep. The DC will be his CMD, and you don't know what that is, so it could be low, it could be high.
And I'm doing acrobatics.
Yep.
Come on.
Come on, baby! Woo!
What's going on? Oh, sweet. 23.
23. Bark Walder's CMD, and I'm going to copy pasta this into the chat just without typing. Just to show that I'm not like fudging.
Marty, tree
Don't you fudge us, Marty.
Don't
Exactly.
cheat at the imagination games.
Alright, so I'm gonna do a copy pasta.
I would imagine he doesn't.
Can
Oh, and I didn't update this. I'm gonna have to type. I didn't update this for his large size. Shit.
You just said a naughty word.
Oh my.
Okay, so this is his CMD before growing from small to large. He gains
3 for just size increase, and he gains another 6 for strength increase.
So his CMD is 29 in the large size. So you try to tumble away. Yeah, where do you tumble? This
I was
direction?
tumbling this. Yeah, that
Okay.
direction.
And you tumble at half speed. So you move at 30 or
30
10?
and
Okay, so you tumbled away. You thought you were gonna get away, but he takes a gigantic swipe with his bloody
Morning Star, and he's gonna try to hit you in the back as you try to tumble away. The Morning Star strikes at plus 11. What's your AC?
19.
It's AC 13.
missed. You could hear your little backpack kind of like there's a tear in your backpack, kind of.
As this thing got close to you, you managed to tumble away. All right, so that was your move action. Now you've got a standard.
And my standard. Can I ready an ant bomb in my other hand?
You can.
Do you have a quick draw?
No, not yet.
Okay, well then you could take out, as part of that tumble, you could take out the ant bomb and throw it at him.
As part of that?
As
the
part
whole
of,
thing.
As part of a move, you could take out a
Shit.
weapon. You got a free
Okay.
hand.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you've got the ant bomb that you stole from the Formians, and you're gonna
Chuck it at Bark Welder. Okay.
tricky.
The range increment of this is you're at -2 because bombs are 10-foot range increment or 20. I think they're 10. But his touch AC is shit because he's really large. So his touch AC is 9. You're at an attack at -2.
Who did it?
Who is it? I can't see.
Who was it?
Lucas, thanks for the sub, man.
Hey, Lucas!
I like your little red dragon there. It's cute.
Yeah.
Appreciate your support, man.
We love you. 13 months in a row?
7. But Lucas has been around for, I think, a lot longer than that.
Hot minute. Oh, 7, it does say right there.
touch attack. So I need a ranged attack roll. Subtract 2, but you're trying to hit AC 9.
Range.
Heavens.
You can do it.
Should be bad plus Dex plus 1.
We believe in you, Luudo.
This is my damage roll.
No, this is your attack roll.
Duh.
You're throwing the bomb at his face, which
Which is a sack filled with
a colony of angry little army ants.
I don't know my shit. Is it bad plus what? Say it again. I thought I had it written down.
It should be on your character sheet. Luudo, scroll down.
Range Smith plus 7.
Range plus 7.
Sorry.
Sounds right.
Sorry, stream.
It's alright.
14.
Criticize him.
-2.
For the range.
Yeah.
However, he's a big target.
Whoa.
His AC is 9. His touch AC is 9. So
The angry ants are now going all over him. I believe the damage for this thing was 1d6.
I think you're right.
And then he needs to make a fort save or be nauseated while the ants are eating. Oh, this is going to suck for him.
Yeah.
fails this. Please don't fail. I mean,
As an impartial DM, I really don't care, but. Alright, the DC is only 12
or 13.
13.
He rolls a 26. Okay, so he takes the 6 damage, but he manages to wipe the.
The ants away,
And he's really angry. You did do D6 damage though.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
D6 plus 4? What's up with this?
Just a D6.
Oh, yeah, right. 6.
Wow.
Max damage.
Okay, so You got a lot of the ants in his ear,
Like the side of his face, and he's
swiping at his face.
Tree ear. Oh, they want that sap.
I'm gonna make you a statue. Is what he says.
Pharisee.
Pharisee is going to start flying again. She's going to fly 40 here.
Okay. Behind some trees.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. While pulling out her pipes, and she's going to start up bard song.
Nice. Is this to inspire?
Your allies?
No. I've decided to switch sides. Bark Wilder looks like one of my kind.
Nice.
You never respected me, team. Yeah, no, I'm gonna inspire courage in my comrades. Jerks Emeritus.
Nice.
Plus one to hit, plus one to damage, plus
Yep.
One morale bonus versus fear.
Is Bark Wilder?
Yeah, good question.
Can I take it at a glance?
You can give me a knowledge nature check to know what Bark Wilder is.
Now.
24.
While it's believed that the gnomish race is close to that of fairies or fey kind, they're actually humanoids. This is a particular offshoot of gnomes called Spriggans. Spriggans have the natural ability to turn into ogre-sized versions of themselves. They also have some minor 24. They have some minor magical abilities.
Something about Spriggans like to break things.
Oh, okay.
This one, it has a glowy morning star in its hands. Like it's obviously
And there's this weird trail of reddish light that is coming from the spikes.
Hey,
Ubachani?
Ubachami,
John!
thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Feel free to ask questions. All right. So yeah, this one's swing. You see it swinging at something. You're assuming it's Luudo, because you can't see Luudo over the embankment.
I'll also go ahead and shout out, do you serve the unseelie?
There's more of you.
You brought more for me, did you? Oops. Although the bug's giving it away.
Professor.
I'm just gonna double move after my bug friend. What's going on up here, Tick? Woo! Oh, Corbin! Can I... How much of this guy's body can I see?
Yes.
You can kind of oversee the embankment. He's half the way up. You can target him with spells.
But can I see anything on him? Perhaps some sort of long, gnarled, tree-looking rod on his belt?
You do see a. Are you metagaming here?
I remember you saying something earlier, so I'm gonna move up and.
So you're looking to see what he has.
I'm trying to just get a look at him.
He is wearing what look like some dark wood bracers, like they've been carved. He is wielding this bloody-looking morning star that is as large as him now.
Mm-hmm.
There is a suspicious ring along the shaft of the morning star, like it's a separate, like the magic item has a ring on it.
Mm-hmm.
You do notice a gnarled-looking rod or wand at his belt.
What would be theoretically the DC to take it off of his belt?
I'm not going to tell you what the DC is. It would be a steal maneuver
Or a sleight of hand maneuver.
Something you couldn't perform untrained?
You could perform steal as a combat action. This is you going up and just like a steal would be Marty marches up to you and grabs your hat. You know what's happening.
What I'm getting at is the unseen servant can't perform untrained checks.
No, an
or
unseen
attacks.
servant cannot yoink items from somebody.
Got it. Okay. Oh, Horbin. Oh. I will.
Barker's looking around and sees all these people. His eyes grow wide in like surprise, but he does not look afraid of all of you. Perhaps after Manny beans him in the head with a rock, he might be afraid of you guys.
That usually does it.
So Manny's going to move forward and sling a stone into this creature's head. He is 80 feet away, which I think is the first range increment, so no penalty. Give me a roll, Mr. Drummer.
What am I rolling for? Sorry.
Manny's attack.
Ah. D20 plus. He's at 9 to. Yeah.
AC 14 is not enough. 15 with
Bark Song.
with Bard Song, so no. He slings a stone basically over Bark Wilder's head, ducks a little bit, and that was Manny's turn. Bark Wilder.
Oh no.
Barky.
Bark Wilder
Takes a 5-foot step away from the flaming sphere. He
draws as a move action the strange wooden rod and points it at Luudo.
I would rather not have.
and he actually glances down the road.
Too bad I only get 2.
There's a strange, slight green aura that comes from the end of the rod towards
Luudo. It unerringly
just sort of absorbs around Luudo and covers him in an aura.
Luudo needs to make a fortitude save.
As
Your skin is starting to tighten and twist and
turn into that of Bark.
and it's starting to get very, very hard to move.
Well, it was fun playing with you, Luudo. You're gonna make a great decoration.
Don't
and
just stand there. Let's get to it. Strike a pose. There's nothing to it.
In our first game, we thought he was going to die first. It's going to be you.
Doesn't get it, I don't think.
I don't think I got that one.
Describe the pose that you take as you are turned into a statue of wood.
Oh wait. Oh.
I'm
I'm not gonna say anything, but
gonna do a finger to the mouth, like.
Right at the last moment, you realize as you're slowly turning to wood, it dawns upon you, and
Luudo is now a statue. And I'm going to put a brown aura around him.
Anybody have a hero point?
orange.
don't you have one?
I don't think so.
Yeah, didn't you get one from the ghost?
No.
I didn't raise my hand.
Which one of you is next? Only the professor at this point in time can see what happened. Give me a spellcraft check, Professor. The DC to know what has happened is 28.
Come on, old man.
Nope, 24.
Okay.
So none of us can see. I can't see, for example. Zephyrus is too far away.
Yep, Zephyrus is too far away to see exactly what happened, like the effect of Luudo. And go ahead, you can control Manny for the rest of the fight. Levi?
Okay.
He whirls around. He's got the rod in his hands, and he's looking at the rest of you and saying,
Which one of you's next?
Marty, we've got King Cuddles asking you, what did he get? Did he get a hero point for his bits?
Hero point for
"Bits?
I don't know if that's how
That works. Give me a second. Let me check the audience.
hero points. King Cuddles, you have a hero point left over from last game. Now, if you wanted to spend a hero point,
Does that mean Luudo would get a re-roll?
let me look up the rules for hero points. Hero point.
Drag him up.
Pathfinder.
And I'll share the.
Bodrin Bot hates you. You are not friends with the Bodrin.
Using hero points.
You can get a reroll on any 1d20 roll that you just made. You must take the second reroll even if it's worse.
Doesn't get much.
Too. Or you retroactively get a +4 bonus to your roll.
No,
I don't think a +4 bonus helps.
Oh.
So, King Cuddles, you want to use your hero point to get Luudo a reroll? Sure.
Does your
Cuddles!
Does your other tarot card have anything that would, or hero card have anything useful here?
Not that
That's what I thought.
here.
I don't think it was
The 4 draw card, demon, lantern, the thought.
I can't remember what you-
No, I just wait. reflex to saving throws. Plus
Is it?
2.
No, this is
That's
4.
yeah, fortitude. Bummer. Okay, cool. Thanks, King Cuddles. You're gonna get so.
You're the man, Cuddles. Hopefully it's not for nothing. Don't fucking up Levi.
It's worse! Oh, it got worse! You have to take that one! You have to take it!
Alright, so
I'm gonna give King Cuddles his hero point back because that was kind of a bummer. Spend it again. You can't spend it on you can't spend it on Luudo. For a brief moment, you didn't quite get the finger, but you kind of went. Yeah.
that was double one.
You kind of like the last finger just sort of popped, but ding.
You gave me a middle finger while
Alright, so that's better.
worth it.
So Luudo of the Jerks Emeritus is giving the double fingers. Bark Wilder is smiling in this grim smile. He's going to get so much money for that statue. He is such a good carver. All right. Next in initiative, moving along, is Texurat Gagat is going to go running at this thing. It charges and jumps down the embankment. I think Bark Wilder gets a AOO as Texurat moves in. Let's see. Let's see what Bark Wilder can do with that bloody mace.
One shot's the murder bug.
That would be funny as well. And it's
That would be upsetting.
Do we get our money back if we die?
we get our money back.
We didn't
Funny.
ask.
That actually didn't
We don't have to pay any extra.
Yeah.
AC 24, I think, hits the murder bug.
Oh god, murder bug.
The murder bug takes 2d6 plus 8 damage for a total of 12. And you notice that the wound that the mace creates has made the murder bug, or tech as you've now shortened it to, he's starting to bleed ichor from that wound.
Is that normal for him?
You don't know, but it looks like a very messy wound. So I'm going to put 12 damage, and I'm going to give him a little red dot to remind us that he is got the bleeding condition.
Oh, Mr. Gagat!
Nope. Let me check to see how much blood. All blood.
All the ichor.
Guy.
He's icking. He's icky.
My, was he useful?
Money well spent.
And you're controlling him tonight, right, Luke? So I don't know what 12 damage. Yeah, it's 1 point of bleed. So he's gonna bleed. He's gonna bleed of 1. Okay, now he gets to go. He's charging, so he gets a +2 to hit, and then he's got a +1 from jumping, or like, no, from Bard Song. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's normally +2, plus another 1. He's at +3 is what we're saying. D20 +3.
10!
Yep.
Plus 3 plus his normal bab.
Yeah, +3
Oh,
plus
8.
his, and his double sword with a standard attack is +10, so it's another +10, which is AC 20, which is much better than 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10 is not as good as 20.
Yep.
Numbers.
It's true.
Maths.
I know numbers. I know all.
I'm a
the best numbers.
mathematist. All right. His AC is less than 20, so Texurat got hit with his sword. Comes in and scores a hit along Bark's legs.
Looks like it's 1 D8
Plus 7.
Correct. 8 with Bart's on.
1 D8 plus 8.
16.
Max damage.
Wow. Okay, that's significant. Bark howls at the howls of the bug, who didn't stop coming, even though he crunched it with his mace as it was coming in. Your warriors to the rescue. Zephyros.
Defend tribe.
So first things first, Zephyros moves the flaming sphere back onto Bark Wilder.
Okay.
There we go.
Bark's going to try to. Hey, on it. How's it going? Bark's going to try to roll out of the way. He's got a 13 on the die this time. Maybe he saw it.
Maybe he
No,
saw
no.
it coming. No, that's the die roll. He gets his reflex save on top of that,
Oh, okay.
which is plus 9, so 22. He dodged out of the way this time.
Okay. Which is quite funny because the Pharaoh just looks up at him and points his second finger and just says, "Give me another one."
All right, so you are
So another
juggling
flaming
two
spear.
flaming spears that kind of goes into the space beside him. I assume you're not creating it in the space where he's half standing in the river.
That's
No, it's above him. It's above him.
Yeah. Okay. All right, another one appears, and he needs to make another reflex save.
Yeah.
This time he fails with a 3.
Don't catch me on fire, please.
And then he has to
That's all I have to say.
Okay, he howls
3d6 plus 1 damage.
as you guys punish Bark with another 11 damage.
Nice.
That is 11 points of damage.
Okay, I believe at this point Bark might be bloodied. He is now bloodied.
good.
Okay, and then as a move, do I still have a move action left?
No, you had to concentrate as a move to
okay.
roll the first sphere, and then you standard action the second sphere. You do
Okay.
have a 5-foot step if you'd like.
I'll take the 5.
And you could say something.
I'll just blow my tusk. I'll just blow noise out of my tusk.
Luudo, you are in a listless, sleepless state. You don't have any concept of time going by, and
Any cool dreams?
nope. I'm just gonna remove you from the initiative.
That's sad.
Pharisee.
Pharisee is going to maintain Bard Song,
Okay.
move up to this tree,
Yeah, there's enough
into
space.
kind of
you
the
can fly
branches.
into it. Yeah.
And say, you should use that on trees. You should make a carving of a tree.
At this point, he doesn't look like he wants to talk. He's got these 2 flaming spears jumping up at his knees, and Texarakigat doing a bunch of like sword katas in front of him with 2 sets of arms.
Autumn comes for us all. It makes us old and weak in mind and body.
That sounds like a hex if I ever heard one.
I'm going to evil eye his saves.
What kind of save is this?
It's a will save.
Mark Wilder has a stellar will save of 0.
Oh, damn, son.
He rolls an 11. Is that good enough?
It's a DC 15 hex.
Okay. So Bark Wilder is hexed, and what does this mean?
It means that he takes a -2 penalty on his saves.
How long?
8 rounds.
I don't think he's gonna last that long.
Okay, I will mark that down.
Actually, no, that's 7 rounds.
Sure.
Yeah. My int bonus is only +4, not +5.
Okay, so I'm just gonna mark hex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, in round 9 of combat, that hex will go away. Okay, so that was Pharisee moving up into the tree, and then standard action.
Yep.
And a very eloquent hex. All right, Professor.
No, what's going on over here? I will move over to the top of the bridge.
Okay.
I'm still internet's super slow. Does anybody know the range on Burning Hands?
It's a 15-foot cone from your hands.
Oh,
You'd have to go down the embankment, it looks like.
Is there any way I could do it from above? Where was I? It's like right there. If I stood on the top, could I shoot it down?
Yep.
I will quick draw a raw or my wand of burning hands.
Although he's threatening you right now.
What if
He's
I,
got a 10-foot reach.
what if I did it from
He's got a 10-foot reach. He's still threatening you.
here? Is there anywhere I could stand? That's too far back.
We'll just stop while the old man dawdles around the battlefield here.
What am I doing?
There's
Give me just a
perfect. There's perfect. You're like, oh, and you kind of go, and you're starting to get muddy, and you slide down the embankment. You slide down the embankment. Oh,
No, that's not right.
And then a blast of fire comes out of your hand. Is it out of a wand or is it out of your hand?
It's out of a 1. DC's 11. But the DC would be my int modifier.
Yeah, so you may want to change the DC. What is your int?
It's +6, so DC 16.
17. It's a first level spell.
Oh, plus the spell level too. Yep.
Okay, so reflex save. So this is 1d20